Hey traders, Park here with another indicator. Today I'll be introducing you to the MACDV indicator. It's fairly new. Came out about 2022. It was developed or modified. MACD was modified by this guy. He went through a whole bunch of developmental stages with the indicator. So Alice Berglu, I have a link another video going through everything that he did for the indicator. I want to give credit where credit is due. This is the indicator. This is my take on the indicator with a couple of different things added to the indicator. So first off, you see it's just like the regular MACD. You have your two lines. You have your signal lines, your purple line. You have the actual MACD lines, your yellow line. Then you have your histogram. Excuse me. Over here, you have your different readings. What he did was take the indicator, add ATR to normalize times of volatility. So I'm not going to go through all of that. I'm just going to go through the features of the indicator itself. So here, what I've done was add in the crossing. So you can see here, this is where MACD crossed up. This is one of the stages that he talked about when it's rallying. So here is the stages of the MACD-V. So it follows those limitations that it says, but you have a ranging stage when it's between 50 and -50. You have the rallying when it's above 50, between 150, and you have overbought up here above 150. You have ranging, rallying, retracing when it's coming back down when the MACD line is below the signal line, which is dash line, and it's going down, then it crosses down below zero, it becomes reversing. Basically, the trend in the stock is reversed, and then once it gets below 150, you get enter into the stage of being oversold, and then crossing back up with the MACD line above the signal line, you have rebounding. So let me get that off the screen. And you can see right now we've crossed up when we're above 50. That's what this shaded box represents. It represents positive 50 and negative 50. Excuse me. And now we're rallying. The dots that you see on the actual MACD line is representative of squeeze. So these dark blue dots right here, that represents a light or yeah, light squeeze. The bright blue or cyan dots right here represents a medium squeeze, and the yellow represents a very tight squeeze. So, and then you have these range bounds right here at 70 and 40. The 40 is more so for the histogram itself. And times in the video that I'm gonna post in the description, you can listen to what the guy says. Talks about the histogram being above 40, being an overbought level for it, and sometimes you get a pullback, and you kind of see that right here. Of course, you have your zero line, and then another step in the video that he talked about was readings above 70, going into 150, before 150 being the strongest. So those are some of the features of the actual indicator. You can see right here, you have your MACDV, and that's the yellow line. You have your signal lines, the purple line. Then you have your histogram, and then you have your label for rallying right there as well. So coming into the actual indicator, we can look at the other parts of the indicator as well. These are some of the controls that you have there. You have your link for TTM, that's for the squeeze. These are the ATR length, and that's what LEN stands for, and it uses the length used for ATR, and that's what he used for his ATR for the MACDV. You have your overbought levels, 150 and negative 150. You have your show zones, and that's basically the lines down there. And then you have your crossing value, histogram crossing value. So for the crosses, you can select the MACDV or you select the crossing for the actual histogram, crossing above yellow. And you have a cloud for overbought or oversold cloud. And again, those zones are just those white zones down there, those white zones down there. And you have a couple of globules for the different colors. There's some other clouds in there. All they are, these clouds right here between 50 and 150 would be bearish, and that just represents yeah, the bearish and then the bullish cloud down there that's not being plotted because it kind of shrinks the indicator, represents 50 and negative 150. So I'm going to close that off, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's oversold. So you have this cloud that appears when it's oversold down here because, like I said, the other cloud kind of shrinks the indicator. I didn't want the indicator to actually shrink. So that's the MACDV indicator that you got right there. The other thing, I make these lines disappear as well. So once the situation changes or if the MACD changes below zero, those lines will go away. I'm going to go to a higher time frame and we'll look at it on a daily time frame. This works on all stocks and indices and futures and on crypto as well. So there we go. So this is what it looks like on a daily. You can see right now we have a cross down back here on the 11/17, and I was looking for something else. But this is basically what it looks like on ESD. Just some fields I had drawn. Then you have your companion indicator as well. So the companion indicator is gonna be the MACD upper. If it's gonna scoot on up there. All right, there we go. And now once I press OK, it should pop up on the screen. So right now, I guess I need to switch to the SPY because I don't have the. So switching to the actual SPY, you can see right here, you're getting your same MACD levels that you have down here. You're getting the squeeze rating. You're getting ranging because right now the MACDV is between 50 and negative 50, same indication down here. And then you have your cost basis. This is like, if you remember my parabolic czar indicator, so it gives you an opportunity to take it short or long when once it gives a signal. You can go in there, you can change a couple of things. But before I do that, I wanted to point out a couple of different things. You have your same crossing down here where it says cross down. You have your potential entry line for a short, and then also you have the equivalent of the MACD line here as well. You have your signal line here, and then you have a zero line as well, and you have your overbought and oversold also for price according to the MACDV indicator. So let's shrink that back down. So you'll know even if you didn't have the MACD indicator here. Um, when price is overbought, oversold, if MACD is over zero, or a MACD above a signal line or below the signal line or the zero. So if I switch it to something like let's say XLE, I think XLE is negative or it's not negative, but you can see how close it is to the signal line, and you can see it corresponds also with the MACD line. The price is below the signal line, and maybe that's not what I was looking for. XLV is probably it. So there we go. All right, XLV is entering into overbought territory. So our reading on the MACDV is 161, so it's above. It's actually overbought right now, but it continues to rise. But you can see right here from both of the labels, it's overbought, and you have your line right here, your signal line, which represents that purple line right down there, and then you have your overbought line as well. So this is giving you a complete visual of the MACD, whether you have it down here or you have it up here. And you have the same criteria for changing the things in here as well. Here you're fast, you're slow, you have the TTM Squeeze, and then you have some alerts as well if you want the bells to go off. And the equivalent is just basically the signal line, the overbought, and the zero line. So that's what this represents. If you don't want to see those, you go down here and you'll press no. And that's what these signal lines. So the bounds, and this just represents the different boundaries for those different lines over there. So crossing, same situation down there. You can use the MACD line or the histogram. Show the labels or don't show the labels. This is for your risk reward system, I'll say right there. And then here's your actual plots right here. And you actually have some globules as well, and that's just negative and down. But that's only going to control those colors up there and the labels, I believe. But that's those two indicators right there that you're going to be getting if you want those. And also, you're going to have the opportunity to have the multi-time frame MACDV. So I'm going to push the actual the upper one down. I'm going to activate the MACDV, and it tracks the MACDV over the course of different time periods. So right now, because we're on the daily chart, you seeing what's on the day, the week, and the month. These are all the different ratings for the MACD, and you can see right here, it's giving you the same indication of what's going on with it. It's ranging on the monthly, it's rallying on the weekly, it's overbought on the day. And if I were to switch to those different time frames, here's the weekly, and we can see it is rallying, and it corresponds with what's going on in the MACD. We have a rating for the MACD of 91.14, and the same situation down here, and so on and so forth. Let me switch it back down to the day. It also gives you these lines for when it crossed up. So this is when it crossed up on a weekly. This was a daily cross. This was a day when it started rallying, and it came back down. So you get your retracing, and then you got another rally, a day retracing, and a weekly rallying on the weekly, and a daily rallying as well. And now we've entered into overbought. So these lines right here are just like your entry lines or potential entry lines to go long or short. Right now, all we have is green. And these lines are not going to stay on the screen. They're going to go away once the situation changes and the MACD line crosses below zero. You can see we have our monthly ranging here on this day. It started ranging. We have our monthly rallying as well. And then the situation changed to a monthly retracing, but it didn't go negative, or the MACD didn't go below zero on the monthly for the XLV. So if I were to go down to a lower time frame, say the 15-minute one, now I'm getting into my 15-minute uh, situation for the MACD, my hourly, my 4 hour, my day, my weekly, and my monthly as well. For the monthly, for the weekly, you have to have at least 30 days. You have to at least have to have on a 30-day chart or longer to get the readings for the MACD. So, and this is what it looks like. And I can find those. Here's my hourly cross. Here's my hourly rallying for the XLV. And here's a pull down, and here's your hourly rally again. Here's another hourly retracement, and it became overbought on the day overbought. Excuse me, day overbought. You have a 15-minute overbought, and then you have your hourly overbought. So, but it's just showing you all these different things for the XLV is all bullish. So we are going to, and you can see where it has these hourly crossups as well. So, and it has the bubbles as well that correspond to the different ones. We'll probably get a completely different picture. Let's say NVIDIA. We got a completely different picture where we have a daily cross down, a 4 hour cross down, and we have these closing prices. That's what these lines correspond to. The horizontal lines correspond to the hourly closing period for those different times. And you can see right now in the 15-minute, we're ranging. MACDV is between 50 and negative 50 uh, over here. So we're in this stage, we're ranging. On the hourly, we're rebounding. And the 4 hour reversing, day ranging, weekly retracing, and on the month, we're overbought. I know I'm taking you fast, but this is basically what I'm saying when it comes to the different stages of the momentum cycle roadmap. And all this came from if you're unfamiliar with financial wisdom, this is where I'm getting all this information from. And this is basically how I built this indicator. Let's see if I can pull this over. And there you go. MACDV explained a powerful upgrade to the classic MACD. And you can see right there, this is everything I'm pulling over. So I want to give credit to them for going through everything and explaining everything so that I can understand that I can build the indicator. So let me close out of that. And let's come back to the momentum life cycle roadmap. You have ranging, rallying, overbought, retracing, reversing, oversold, rebounding. So this just tells you where the MACD is on in the cycles, and this and also the stock as well, where it is in the cycles. So we're going to take a look at Nvidia on the daily, and we can see those same crossings. And if I wanted to, I can push the MACD, the upper MACD, back up on here and get a better picture of what's going on. So you're gonna get some of these overlappings where you can't necessarily see it right there with the vertical lines, but you can also see those horizontal lines as well. And we can see here's our signal line well above the actual price. So price in this instance represents the MACD line, and here's your signal line up here at 203, which for uh, Nvidia on a daily that needs to get bullish, it needs to cross above the signal line and above our zero line here in white. So that's those three indicators, and then also you're going to get my my volume standard deviation indicator as well to go along with it, and also you're going to get this price channel. So it may seem like it's a bit much, but the price channel will also help you out when you're looking to take certain trades or whatever, and if and see if the stock is actually bullish or not. So you can see if a move on a crossing was not validated by volume, I probably wouldn't take it. And if it's below the actual, I think I have this set for a 20-day period for my price channel. You can see the price channel switches from red to green or bullish to bearish. Once it crosses above the hottest price channel, it switched to bullish and it retraced back down to the midpoint of the channel, and Nvidia pushed up. Crank came in below, but it never did break the low. This price channel indicator, which showed support. So if I were to push it back down to the 15-minute, we can see with the price channel, we actually started bullish. We got a break above, and you can see Nvidia pushing above. So that's one of the other aspects of using this price channel to validate what's going on within the price, or using the volume to validate these different moves. So if I were to push Nvidia down to a 5-day, 5-minute, we can see what's going on right here. And we can see the MACD is in a positive territory. So this is where our cross up actually happened on the 5-minute. We're rallying on the 5-minute as well, or that's just really that other. Yeah, we're rallying on the 5-minute as well, and you can see it right there. But they're just clumped on top of each other, those two lines. And this would have been our entry point on the 5-minute. We validated by price channel break. We're validated by volume as well, even though this is kind of light volume. But we also got a squeeze down here as well. And we have another squeeze here when I said mid squeeze. And price continues pushing up. We had a rebounding for a moment here, but then we had a cross up on the 15-minute MACD, and we can see right now on the 15-minute MACD we are ranging, but the 5-minute we're retracing. So you see down here where the MACD, or even where I can see right here, the price is below the signal line. The MACD line is below the signal line as well. So that comes back to our cycle for the MACD. So if I push it above, or I push it further out. You can also see when the MACD, when it becomes oversold, you get this pink cloud. You also have an option in there to cut this off as well. This oversold cloud, if that's not going to be helpful for you when price is oversold. And let's see, let me push this over. Same situation over here, became oversold. Same corresponding with the MACD, and you can see.
You can see Nvidia rebounded, but let's go look at the scanner. So this is also another aspect of the bundle. So you have your watch list right here, right now. That's why I have the scanner looking for the MACDV scanner, looking for stocks that are in the rallying stage of the cycle with the MACD. So you can go in there, you can select whatever you're looking for. This is the actual MACD line. This is the squeeze, this tight squeeze. You want to scan for squeezes. With that, a stock that's in the overbought stage or oversold stage, according to the MACD, rallying, retracing, rebounding, reversing, any of the different things like that. And if you actually want to see where the MACD is actually crossed above zero, so we just do cross above, and then we put a value here, and we're going to say just zero. So, and the other criteria I put in here is anything greater than 200, 50 greater than 200, and all of these say ranging just because these are crosses. They're not above 50 and they're not above 70. So we can find some that 70 was the best from the video. MACD reading above 70, so we'll say look for something that crossed above 70. Just waiting for these things to load up. And we'll find the one with the greatest market difference, and that'll be W, which is Wayfair.com. So here's Wayfair.com, and we can see that, hey, we had a squeeze back here, and now it's crossing above 70 on our readings. Here's our MACD, and also up there. And here's our signal line. So this the price is getting ready to cross above the signal line, and MACD is getting ready to cross above the signal line as well, to indicate a change in the cycle. But right now we're retracing. And it's also above this 20-day price channel midline. So this looks like it has something good going for it. But the volume in it is light. That's why you got these dark green shades right here. So we go into our actual volume indicator. I can click on the globules. So if it's even, the candle itself be gray. Volume below average, volume below average bull, volume above one standard deviation bear, and volume above one standard deviation bull, volume above two standard deviations, bull or bear, and those are the colors of the candles right there. Then you can go in here. You can actually choose not to paint the bars. You can look for your trend. The regular trend is just close minus open. You have close to close. You have Heikinai. You have buy sell pressure there as well. And if you're unfamiliar with that, there's a couple of different things, videos out there. And then I have a modified version of buy sell pressure as well, and that's usually the one I'm looking at. And you have your length. I'm not using the length of 12, even though that's the manual length. I actually have an auto length for myself, but usually it's 20 bars, and that's what's controlling the colors of the bars and how much volume is going into it. But these are the indicators that you're going to give. You choose to get the bundles. So you have your MACDV, the multi-time frame MACDV. You have your price channel indicator. You have your MACD upper indicator. You have your relative volume standard deviation. You have your MACD squeeze down there as well. and you have the scanner. You have the scanner as well. That's going to be in there. You also have your watch list column. So if you're interested in this indicator, look in the description of the video, description of this video, and you'll see the actual indicators posted down there. And I also post a video for the video I watched in developing this MACD from Financial Wisdom, their channel. I appreciate you guys. I hope this was helpful. I wish you the best, and if you haven't already, please like, subscribe. God bless.